We are live. All right. Let me just see here. All right, guys. Let's talk about it, huh? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Justin Publon, a meteorologist with WisconsinWX.com. I'm also the man who rates the forecast here in Wisconsin weather. Let's talk about Cristobal. I mean, that's just the name of the tropical storm that they give it. It's going to rain. Let's talk about what's going on currently. We have a flash flood watch across western, I guess you'd call it western Wisconsin, from basically La Crosse up to the Wisconsin-Michigan border up there. It's kind of interesting how it's bent over. If you look at it, the way it's heading now, and then it's kind of bent over this way. So, kind of suggesting that as the storm moves north, it's also going to start to kind of bend back that way. So, just something interesting to see in there. Just a tighter view here for you guys to see there. So the flash flood watch is until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's talk about the radar simulation for basically picking it up around noon today. Now, if you're comparing what it looks like here, this is the NAM high resolution model versus actual right here, and it's decently close. Decently, not 100% for sure, but as we take it through tonight, this afternoon, this is going into the evening hours. You're seeing that heavy rain moving north into basically the La Crosse area, with the heaviest band, I think, going to be there west of La Crosse, just west of it, and then moving north up towards the Eau Claire area, where you could probably get 3 to 4, 3 to 5, even maybe 6 inches in locally higher amounts there, that zone. But you're seeing that this band here is sweeping through. So basically, you have this section of heavy rain here that's kind of going like that. But then you're also going to have a band that probably forms out ahead of it over here across eastern Wisconsin that moves somewhat northeasterly. And that'll be that 1 to 2 inch zone there out in the eastern half of the state. That's where that's going to come from. So there might be spots that don't get there, and there might be spots that are higher, just the way that convective thunderstorms tend to work out. All right. But yes, as we take it through tonight, this is going to be here. This is right at 7 p.m. According to this model, the models are a little different on the timing. And this one's pretty aggressive. I mean, maybe it won't be that. I mean, that looks really bad. Maybe it won't be that bad. But we'll see coming through. So thunderstorms are probably a decent chance there in eastern Wisconsin tonight into overnight hours. But then the storm, their remnants of Tropical Storm Cristobal moved north through Wisconsin, and by about, about 2 or 3, let's say that's about 7 a.m. It looks like it's mostly through Wisconsin. So, yeah, and that's when the flash flood watch ends in western Wisconsin, but you still have a section of it here that can move back into Wisconsin during the day Wednesday. So we'll see how that, I'll show you that here. It's loading. Sorry. Oh yes, loading again. Loading, and maybe some thunderstorms that develop off of that tomorrow afternoon as well. So there you go. All right, now let's take a look at this model. I just want to talk about the thunderstorm threat in a little bit more detail quickly. Again, I'm showing you that this section here tonight is going to be probably the heaviest rains, but then you're going to have a band of thunderstorms that moves like this. What is the severity of those thunderstorms? At this time, I don't think they're going to be severe necessarily. I think that you may have a stronger storm in there. As you know, stronger storms can produce a weak isolated tornado, but we'll see how that all works out. My concern is not very high, I'll put it that way, but just something to keep an eye on now. If we want to analyze the atmosphere in a closer detail there, drop a pin basically to take a look. Now, if we had a 40,000 foot flagpole, what would the wind gusts look like at all those various levels? That kind of tells us this is not loading so well. I already had one preloaded, just kind of showing there's a pretty good veering of the winds. However, thermodynamics, basically the energy, the instability is not the greatest. According to this model, I'm looking outside now. I'm here in Oshkosh and it's sunny, so still, basically saying that maybe the instability will be a little bit better, but basically overall, this is not a very good setup for severe weather, but maybe because of the twisting of the winds within the atmosphere, the cyclonically twisted environment, that maybe you might get a weak tornado in there somewhere, okay? But again, my concern is not very high about that, and oftentimes it's the big swaths of straight line damaging wind gusts or large hail events that cause the most damage. Tornadoes tend to be a little bit more isolated, so I don't worry as much about that. All right, here's just another look at it. Here's a bunch of different models that kind of show generally the same of evolution through tonight. That basically the heavy rains out west there, and then kind of a band sweeping through like this with thunderstorms embedded. And I guess this model is the most aggressive. Some models are less aggressive, like this ARW here is just kind of showing you a range of different possibilities there. Okay. So here are the latest, and I want to take it over to this model. We'll start with this one. The latest model output for forecasted precipitation amounts, and they all are different. Okay, all these models are just a little bit different, which is why I'll show you our forecast in a second, what I'm generally thinking. But generally, if you look at it, a lot of the models are kind of the same way. And let me see if I can scroll down here. And I'll draw in a line here. Basically, you're seeing it mainly in that zone now. What they do over here is a little bit different between models, for good reason, and as I mentioned. But basically, this is the favored zone. Okay, and if you look at the current model, the current radar, you're going to see that. Okay, this model, European, has the heaviest amounts in northeast Iowa, but I think that very easily that could sneak into southeast Minnesota, west of La Crosse or near La Crosse, and then up towards Eau Claire. Okay. And I'll show you a few other models that are kind of showing that, right? So here's the GFS kind of showing that, okay, what I just mentioned. And here's some of the short-range models. Now, some of these are not the best. You can tell which ones don't belong to the group. But here, check this one out. I don't think you're going to get 10 inches from this event. I think you could get up to 6 probably, but it's just to show you where that axis is, okay? And here's the high, that's a low res. This is the high res NAM. I'm not sure how much I believe these heavier amounts, but also remember this does include the Wednesday rainfall amounts too. So, and that Wednesday might favor the eastern or northeast section of the state. So here's the forecast for this event. Basically I put it there. The 3 to 6 Wabasha, 3 to 6 Eau Claire, up towards Ladysmith. The computer the algorithm decided to give Ladysmith 2 to 3, but I think that could be right there in the 3-inch around there somewhere. But yeah, that axis, that I don't know what color that is, salmon colored zone. It's just where I want you to focus your attention to. But yeah, 1 to 2 across eastern Wisconsin with the scattered convective thunderstorms that develop, plus what happens Wednesday night, which would probably be more scattered as well. Regarding severe weather threat, okay, the SPC, for whatever reason, cuts out eastern Wisconsin. It looks kind of like somebody took a bite out of it. I don't know. I don't know if I think that's the best move. Again, this is why the Wisconsin weather forecast, the one I created this morning, hasn't changed much over the last couple days, but it's somewhere between general and strong. I just don't know if I feel like going all the way to strong. Just something to kind of watch, but not be too concerned about. As far as the flash flood watch information, we're going to open up a new tab here. This is just an aspect of the flash flood. There's several zones because each weather forecast office issues their own kind of set of watches and warnings. This is just the La Crosse version of it. Basically, what are they talking about, right? So I'm just going to read this, what it says on here on WisconsinWX.com from the National Weather Service. Flash flooding could develop quickly later today. Periods of heavy rain and thunderstorms will arrive from the south to north today, with the heaviest rainfall expected this afternoon and evening as remnants of Tropical Storm Cristobal track through the region. Widespread rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches are expected for all areas within that zone, the La Crosse area, with locally higher amounts of 6 inches or more associated with thunderstorms. So basically everything we just talked about, they also are saying the same thing, okay? I just wanted to share that with you. All right, now a couple more things before I move on to your questions if I can find them real quick. Um, this is WisconsinWX.com. That's the link that I shared yesterday, and you can so you can go there for the summary of everything I kind of talked about. It's all laid out there. Plus, how we've came to this position, kind of the evolution of the forecast. I've been watching this for a long time, so there. But yes, and then here's the website. Everything kind of summed up for you with the last couple updates. I did post a couple of these two updates. Did get to Facebook. I did share them there too. So if you're looking for information, it's all here wrapped up. No ads, no politics, no crap. This is weather only here on the WisconsinWX.com page. So, okay, here we go. Let's see if I can get to some questions. Hey, guys. Okay, so I see a lot of people from New London, Oshkosh, and Watoma, Manitowoc watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Happy to have you guys on board. All right. Red Granite. So you guys are all watching from across the state. Emily. Hi, Emily. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the update. You're welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed the storm. Again, we're going to be watching. I'm going to be watching two areas, the heavy rain zone there west of La Crosse, and then the thunderstorms that form in eastern Wisconsin. I might actually go out and try to film them or do something with them, depending on how they end up coming through. Neshkoro, wow. Yeah, Paula's sick of Cristobal. Yeah, it's a lot of rain. May was rainier than I expected, and so then you add this on top of it. It's pretty wet summer again shaping up here. Possibility of a tornado watch later. I don't know. Maybe. Dawn Beloit. Hi. Thanks for the updates. You're welcome. Thank you guys for watching. Chances for tornadoes in Green Bay area. Again, I mentioned possibility of a weak tornado. Let's go. Again, I know you guys kind of are glued to that word, but I won't worry too much about it because I think that it would be weak, if at all possible. We could go take a look at some of the wind fields here. And the low level this year is pretty good. Tropical storms are kind of notorious for this, but also tropical storms, when they're coming off the Gulf, tend to have a little bit more moisture associated with them. The cloud bases tend to be a little bit lower. I'm looking at the sounding here, and I think that it's kind of looks like a continental aspect is kind of pushed in. Anyways, again, so maybe, yeah. But if you can tell from my voice and my demeanor, I'm not that concerned about it, but yes, there is that chance. Let's go and refresh this so you guys have an updated view. Again, rain is approaching from the south here. Coleman and Briggsville. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hi, Rick. Janesville, Waupun. How is the wind? Yeah, it's going to get a little bit windier, of course, it will. I haven't really looked too much into that, but yes. And actually, it's been kind of a windy spring into early summer. I think that has to do with the kind of what was going on in the Arctic Oscillation being kind of the polar vortex is a little bit more constrained this year and has unraveled that had more of an impact later on in spring and early summer. Hi, Scott. It's just mentioning the multiple models showing more over the Fox Valley area. Yeah, so we'll have to watch Wednesday. I think that'll add to it. I'm not seeing a big issue for Fox Valley right now. I see it mainly western Wisconsin. We'll talk about tomorrow, and these things evolve differently. But I can understand, Scott. I can understand what you're talking about there. But I tend to disagree. I think today, western Wisconsin, and then the chance of thunderstorms in eastern Wisconsin. Barron County. Hi, Tim. I'm sorry, I do not have a wind speed forecast with this event, but yeah, I do not have one, but we can go take a look at some of these. Let's see here. Nope, this one. If you look at these lines, okay, this is just a way of getting at it separately, but it doesn't show you the wind speed gust, but you're seeing as this storm approaches these lines, okay, these are called isobar lines. As they get tighter and closer, they suggest a stronger wind gust because the pressure difference. Winds flowing from the outside in, and you're just seeing that, yes, at times it does get windier. But I think the windiest time might actually be Wednesday night, okay, as that storm pulls away and tightens up. All right. Hi, Jesse. Thank you very much. Yeah, my go-to source. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're going to, we'll talk about that in a second. Thanks for the information. You're welcome. Yeah, Dirk. Yeah, I totally, I never thought of that. The truckers, yeah. It has been a windy spring. Hi from Eagle River. Hey, I was just up there last weekend. It's a beautiful place up there, Eagle River. Yeah, maybe some lightning. I think that yes, there could be lightning. Scattered thunderstorms are what I'm going with here across Wisconsin today. Madison. Yeah, Madison is kind of in that zone. I guess we could go take a look at some of the forecasted rainfall amounts and just kind of zero in on Madison. I think 1 to 2 is a good narrative for eastern Wisconsin. It rains a little bit today, and then there's another chance tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, I mean, there's probably gonna be gaps in there again. When you're dealing with convective thunderstorms, it's sort of like a hit and miss situation where some people get blasted and other people don't. And that's sort of that signal what that tells me here. But yeah, 1 to 2 inches eastern Wisconsin, including Madison. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, oh, wow, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, so thank you guys for tuning in. Uh, I mean, a live stream here in the office. Again, we're gonna do things a little bit differently coming up here. I don't know. This winter, it's been an interesting challenge. I mean, ever since I quit my job last fall, trying to figure out what my niche is or figure out what I should be doing because there's a lot of ideas you have going in that you think you should be doing it, but then when you start doing it, you don't like it or it doesn't jive. It doesn't go along with, either what you're doing or who you are. So it's a long process. That's why I say a lot of what we've been doing lately has been trial and error, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. The website, things are changing, and I always say things will be continuing to change as I kind of, we expand it out to here now as we bring it back down into that niche. Okay, where is that niche and how does it work? As far as the website goes now, I'm hoping to provide more information from the website to the Facebook page. I know I've had some posts recently or some suggestions that maybe I won't be doing that at all. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out exactly what the best method is. And I think with the introduction of the paywall, which I don't like to refer to it like that, but basically me trying to determine what are our members who are paying, what do they get versus what does Facebook, it's free information, what do you guys get? So if I could just avoid that altogether and just forecast weather, that'd be ideal. And I think that's sort of what I'm moving towards, and then doing things differently with a membership. But anyways, that's outside I just want to talk about that because it's an evolving situation. All right. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'll keep you guys updated, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for watching.